hollow vortex. Sometimes I get really sad thinking about the state of the world. But mainly what makes me so sad is thinking about all the people in the world who don't have God. What makes me saddest is that when they're at their saddest, there's no one that they can turn to, there's no one that really understands them, and there's nothing to comfort them. I wish that I could be the one that they would listen to. Because whatever discouraged them from turning to a higher power or something of that nature, whatever discouraged them, I wish I could take it away. I wish I could be the thing that kills the thing that killed that interest in them. I wish I could be the thing that kills the thing that destroys that curiosity. It's a childlike trait. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. If I had a train of thought, it would get derailed. Sometimes I watch these videos, and even if they're not very good, I still know that they're good. Because I was in my element, I was exactly what I was supposed to be at that particular moment, and I think that's what makes it so good. Or maybe I'm just making excuses for the fact that it's not good. What was I saying? Oh, you were talking about God. Of course I was. When am I not talking about God in some kind of way? Because He's part of everything. And if He's not, then it's His absence. And that could be discussed very avidly. And I think about the school system and how it's just a bunch of debauchery. How a lot of these so-called teachers are probably moonlighting for Antifa. And I think about when I was in school, how much I hated it, how much I wanted to burn it to the ground, but I still didn't. And I can't even imagine how many people feel that way now. And back then, I wasn't told to hate myself because of my pasty white skin. So I can't even imagine going to school and hearing that rhetoric. Gotta switch lanes, hold up. Okay. When I brought that up in relation to God, you know, they took prayer out of schools, and though I don't think that people should force you to do something that you don't want to do, because we'd always have a moment of silence. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Like it was yesterday, because it was every day that I went to school. We had a moment of silence. And we could use that moment of silence for whatever we chose to. But I don't think that God wants us to be silent. I just read that. I believe it was in Psalm 94, or maybe Psalm 95 or 96. I'm not really sure, but make a joyful noise. Make loud noise for the Lord. So maybe silence is the wrong way to express whatever we should express. Though I gotta admit, sometimes I wish I could just be quiet for 1 second, for 1 minute at the most. I wish I could just be quiet and not have to be constantly reiterating all the things that I think about, all the things that happened, or the things that I think are gonna happen, or all the things that I agree with or disagree with, all the things that I love or the things that I hate, or the things that I feel so indifferent about. The gist of the bit is that I have quite a bit to work with. The gist of the bit is that I got a lot of shit on my mind. And so I pull it out, analyze it, cause you know, you gotta know that I got the time. And it amazes me how few people on the planet have the time to figure themselves out. That's literally all I do. I wish I could pass some of this along to you, cause I would gladly do that for you. And I gotta apologize if I come across a little hostile, a little arrogant. I'm sorry, Charlie. That's not how I really want to come across. Because if Jesus, Joshua, Yeshua, if Jesus, Joshua, Yeshua, if Yeshua is love, then I gotta be above my ego. I gotta rise above my ego. Because I must admit all the shit I don't know. But one thing that I do know is that everybody is addicted to their phones. Everybody is addicted to the social media, feedia. And when you get addicted to that, you don't have conscious awareness of the way that you act. You just don't, and I won't ever stop bitching about that. But at the same time, I gotta cut some slack, because if it's the way of the world and everybody feels like they have to act accordingly, then I can't really blame you, can I? Can we? It's a we, it's at my head. In case you haven't noticed, I'm never really alone, cause I got a man in my head, and we hang out all the time, and he yells at me, but it's fine, because we're best friends. We are. We totally are, man. Fuck yes! Everybody's got somebody in their head. It's just that my imaginary friend, is that what they call it? When you talk to yourself? he's like a really masculine female, or he's just a man. I know I don't have a penis, if you think that this is like some kind of like dysphoria. And maybe it is a little bit, but I know what the fuck I am. I know what my parts are, damn it. Nobody has to tell me shit. You know, I love the way that you say things. Like the other night, you said something, I think it was last week. Maybe it was this week, I don't fucking know. It's all a blur. Comedy is such a blur. Restaurants are such a blur. Just life is such a blur. But anyway, figures I do stand-up comedy. It figures I work at a restaurant, because that's already my mindset. It's already how I live my life anyway. But yeah, it's like, yeah, we did comedy though, and I know what you're talking about. That bit that I did where I was where I was talking about, like, I wish I had a penis, but like there's nothing you can do about that no matter what they say, and they say a lot. Oh man, they say a lot. Yeah, see, that's a way to just say it without having to be like anything, I don't know, like, because I'm admitting the fact that I struggle with that somewhat. I don't even want to say struggle, but it's like I think like that sometimes, where I'm like, man, that would be cool if I were a man, but I'm not, you know. But mainly because like there are a lot of women that like I find really attractive, and I'm like, I think to myself, man, that would be cool if I could date her, but I'm like, I'm not a woman though, or I'm not a man, so like I'm a female, and I just can't like wrestle with that in my head. So people, they'd be like, well, why don't you just date her? I'm like, because it's wrong. It's like, even if, say God didn't give a shit, it's still like, it wouldn't compute in my mind, because I'd be like, no, they're two vaginas, it's not gonna work. That should kind of show you that, like, it seems like gays want that so bad. Like, they just want to be straight. If, like, in every gay relationship, you have a man in the relationship, like, you have, like, the more butch lesbian, you know, that wears the pants. Like, why do you think that that's the same? Obviously, that's the dynamic for a reason. Like, they want that nuclear relationship. Right? That is so true, though. I mean, it's sad, though, if you think about it like that. It's actually really, really sad. But anyway, there's a way to say things. And I was actually told this by Peter, who's gay, and he was hosting the My class tonight, and he said, you know, it's like, even this offensive stuff that you say, it's like, you find a way to say it. It's like so smart. You play music to sort of like bounce it off. Like, you can't get offended by this because it's just too entertaining, damn it. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's the way that to be a conservative comic, is you gotta have a keyboard. And you gotta play it in an intelligent way. Like, if I were an actually, like, classically trained pianist, I mean, nothing against that, but I feel like it wouldn't be as interesting, because, you know, I'd be boring. And, but I'd probably be doing it in a very conventional way. And because I literally started playing keyboard, like really started playing it when I started doing comedy. So it's like, it's just something that I add to it. And so because I'm playing it in a very like weird way that's not really like music, you know, and I do like to do music. I enjoy music very much. Y'all saw all the CDs I bought, right? Okay. 3 separate purchases of CDs where I spent hundreds upon hundreds of dollars on compact discs. But yeah, so it's like if I were just making music, it'd be one thing, but it's like I'm doing comedy and I'm incorporating music into it, so it's like a completely different thing. I don't even like to call it musical comedy though, or high art, whatever the fuck. Like, can it just be whatever? Why does it have to be anything at all? Can I just be like, this is Amy Gross's crazy shit?